You can search for wife by going to the social activities, choose the embark for romance option. You'll see a list of potential spouses, which you can scroll through, or you can just hold the tab to the side to scroll faster. Press the information button for the character sheet. The character sheet will show you their stat allocation and levels, of course what items they have too. You can check out the fertility of the spouse and what percentages they have for excellent genes. These two stats are very important if you want to have the best possible child. You have the option to choose from the world. What you can do is choose from the office tree or the world map. You can pick from any office tree right now. That might be passed in the future. I'll choose right now from the world map. The first interaction is always the same. You head over and try to convince them to embark on a romance. Generally you can fail, but you can fail if you try to do it on a hostile NPC though. Now when choosing a spouse, what is important is two stats. Fertility, which determines how many kids you can have. That stat is determined by the character age, which means higher equals lower fertility. Excellent genes, that determines the chance of having a child with extraordinary perks. I'll show an example later on in the video. Now choosing a spouse from the sovereign seat will allow you to win the game instantly, which is a bug. It will hopefully be removed soon. But once you choose a spouse, you are now able to work on the relationship to eventually marry and have a husband or wife. Once you start the romance, you can now choose to compliment, flirt, and kiss to increase your relationship. You can see your progress on the love bar. This is generally the easiest part and should go over quickly, just keep the compliments coming. You will not inherit your spouse's wealth or political position, so you don't need to worry about it. After maxing or having at least 75% love bar, you can choose the marry option and pick the spouse you have been flirting with. This will pop up a small cutscene. Once this cutscene is done, your new spouse is magically teleported home. Now head home to consummate the marriage. Once you're home, choose your chapter and press on the social activities tab. Choose produce offspring, which will start a small timer. That will take roughly 5 minutes in game time. Once that's done, and if you succeed, your wife will get a positive modifier called pregnancy. This will last throughout the pregnancy. The buff is very nice for a charisma based character, since the wife will get +5 charisma, 10 negotiation skills, and 5 resistance. If you fail, you get a minor debuff which lasts roughly the same amount of time, but you only get -1 charisma. The pregnancy lasts about an entire game year, and your wife can work while she's pregnant. Once the pregnancy is over and you get your child, you can decide the name for it, but the stats are based on the parents' stats. If you have high excellent genes stat on both parents, you can get a child that's blessed by a certain trait, like Mark of the Spider here. This trait is good for rogues and starts your character with ridiculous stats.